It's not a flattering angle for me. What are you doing? Yes,
a live look inside work from home reality. Amy Rutledge and the kids sitting down for dinner. Hey, Miss Rutledge, how you doing, Amy?
Up your nose. Keep it out of your nose.
You know what's sad is I actually have to say that for real because the other day I walked in and I said, Miles, what do you eat? He goes, Clifton's booger.
All I hear is noise. I don't see how you get anything done. Amy is not joining us for the show as she normally does because she has to take care of her children, which is a scene that's all too real at a time like right now. A lot of mothers and fathers having to shift their entire careers so they can take care of their families. I don't see
what
how
are
you get
they
anything
eating
done,
for dinner?
girl.
What are they eating?
They right now they're having meatballs and
Vegetable rice.
Don't
let them know that.
Yeah, don't tell them. Yeah, so Daddy has to go out of town for work function. Normally he's the one who's here for dinner and had to leave early because we're getting a big snowstorm coming from up north and he's got to go to Wisconsin.
It's getting too chaotic. Let's start the show. That was a 1 minute glimpse into all the prayers. We send them Amy's way. My goodness, 3 boys at dinner time. As I had 2 brothers, and I know dinner time was tough on our parents. So props to Amy. Welcome to the show.
Yes, indeed.
Let's get
doing something I couldn't do. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's get started here. So a man was carjacked at gunpoint in the Noble Square neighborhood. He says he's not going to press charges against the 4 teens that were arrested for it. It happened last night while he was shoveling out a parking spot. Investigators later found and arrested the teens at the gas station. 3 were released while the 4th is being held on an outstanding warrant.
Yeah, some 200 stolen cars have actually been returned to their owners over the last 2 months, thanks to a new Facebook group as well. The Chicago Stolen Car Directory started back in August of 2020 with 500 followers. It now has nearly 15,000. So victims of carjackings or stolen cars, they post pictures of their vehicles, and they get the VIN and the license plate number as well. And if someone spots it, they alert the owner of the location, which is pretty cool. I'm kind of surprised at just how many have gotten back to their owners, probably people that never expected to see them again.
That's for sure. I mean, I can't imagine. You guys know I also have we're almost done getting my concealed carry. And these are kids that are doing this. They're saying average age 15 to 20 years old. I can't imagine, harming or injuring a teenager over a vehicle. This is just a tough spot. I'm really glad that the community is stepping in to lend whatever help they can. That certainly goes a long way. But I'm tired of saying that I'm tired of carjackings.
Well, it's kind of unfortunate that the community members have to get this involved with something like this, right? I mean, this is really a problem and it's on everybody's mind. I was just talking to some people today worried about their cars. It's a fear you really shouldn't have to have, but it's good to see people stepping up to help each other with this.
I would love to think that I would be the person not to press charges. I know other people have kind of done the same thing. I don't know if it's because they just don't want to deal with going through the legal battle. It's probably not a very fun process. But I do think that is a real tough decision to make, right? Like, you've gone through this traumatic event. Yes, they're teenagers, but there's got to be some level of, forgiveness for the reason why you don't press charges? Mm-hmm. Felicia, would you be able to just let it go?
Well, first of all, there are a lot of levels to this. Did I get my car back? Was it totaled or was it still in good condition? There are a lot of questions, variables that play into this. But, I would like to think that, no, I wouldn't press charges just because, again, these are children. 15-year-olds that are stealing these vehicles. So I don't want to have them locked up in the legal system, or this be on their record. But I would really like to give them a good talking to. I don't know if that is a possibility, but I would love to meet this kid and see what is going on. Like, why?
I've got this image of Felicia grabbing them by the ear and just really just giving them a good talking to. You listen here, kiddo.
I'm afraid to see them out on the streets because I feel like that would be my reaction versus, oh, here's my car, or, a violent reaction, which, I mean, we don't want that either.
I don't know, but
I'd like to think
teach some lesson. Like, I don't want these kids to go to jail for the rest of their life for making a stupid decision when they're teenagers. But like, if there's no charges pressed, is it just literally they just are gone then? Like, what's to stop them doing it again to the next person?
This isn't like shoplifting a Gatorade at a store, like a small thing. You're taking a car. Like that's a pretty big deal, and it's not really an innocent mistake. So I would like to think I'd extend some grace, but honestly, I feel like there has to be some punishment, some repercussion for taking such an action, especially if you have a gun. Like that's ridiculous.
I agree.
I got your punishment right here, B Pope.
The finger wag. Yes.
It's unfortunate all the way around. Yeah. Well, cigarette smokers could get a big bump up in the waiting line for the COVID vaccine. So updated guidelines from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention say smokers are a bigger priority than teachers. Doctors say they're twice as likely to be hospitalized and need ventilator support.
These patients will spend in the hospital for a fairly long time, and then they may require ICU stay and then ventilator stay. So it's going to eat up a lot of medical resource taking care of these patients. And so if by prioritizing the resource and the vaccination to them, likelihood of these patients requiring a hospitalization and ventilator support and the medical care will go down. Therefore, we'll free up a lot of medical resource and doctors and nurses to provide for all of us.
So as you guys can imagine, there'll probably be a lot of non-smokers who would be upset and pointing the finger, and you chose to smoke. Why should you be the person to get the vaccine first?
Yeah, that's why it's a tough one. I mean, because it's not like smoking is a pre-existing condition. This is something that you choose to do. However, it is something that's addictive, and there's people that generally want to get off doing cigarettes and smoking, but just can't. It's a really tough thing. They shouldn't be deprived of good medical care, I feel like, because of this addictive thing they've been doing.
Yeah, right. And also, like, deceptive marketing has been proven year and year and year again that young kids get addicted to smoking cigarettes, or teenagers do.
Yeah.
And it's really tough to quit. I just want to know, like, what do you have to prove that you're a smoker? Like, do I just have to take, like, a drag of a cigarette while I'm filling out the form? Because I will gladly do that to get up ahead in front of this vaccine line. Like, I ain't got no shame. Like, seriously, like, that's my worry. Is like, what's the proof that you do it? Do you like blow the smoke into the administrator's face? Like,
John pulls up to Walgreens and flicks the lighter, puts the sunglasses on.
That's one of the questions they ask you when you got to get life insurance. They ask you if you smoke. And I'm like, well, anybody could say anything to this question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're all in this together. The more people that get vaccinated, the better it is for everyone involved. Hey.
Well, also, let's be honest. I mean, smokers, as they were saying, have a much higher risk of going on the ventilator, struggling through that process that weighs down the health system overall. So if we're in this together, you want the people that are most susceptible to be really unhealthy, to struggle through the process. Let's keep them out of the hospital so we can get to people that have a better chance at recovery. So in that sense, it does potentially free up more resources in the hospital for healthier people that get a bad strain of this to be treated.
But we're pointing a finger at smokers. What about people who eat fast food and maybe their heart is in bad condition now? Like, are they held to the same standard? How would we know? How could we prove? We just all need to be vaccinated at this point.
Fair point.
Well, now I wonder, who do we consider a smoker? Because I enjoy a cigar every now and then. Does that mean I can get up to the front of the line? Maybe?
Try it.
Yeah. Maybe.
I guess that's a no. I guess that's a no.
I'm not a snitch, Brandon. Go ahead.
You don't have to
Take
worry
one,
about me
pass
when it
it
comes to
back.
that.
Take one, pass it back.
Oh my. All right. Well, okay. Next story here. A Texas woman that was charged in the Capitol riot. She asked a federal judge to let her travel to Mexico for a weekend retreat. Yeah. So Jenny Cudd, she's a florist. She claims the trip is a work-related bonding retreat for employees and their spouses. Sounds like a vacation to me. Cudd's lawyers argued she planned and prepared the trip before her alleged crimes. She's facing 2 misdemeanors for the January 6th insurrection that we all saw play out on TV. And so you watch that and you're like, why should someone be rewarded with a trip to Mexico? I know it's trendy. Everyone's going to Tulum, but I don't think an insurrectionist should be able to do that.
Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, she's only being charged with 2 misdemeanors. Okay, we do not have a domestic terrorism law to charge her with, which is what happened. So we can't, a misdemeanor isn't that seriously. And to be clear, entering a restricted building in disorderly conduct, some people would call that a regular Wednesday night. But you could have those same charges floating around at a Wrigleyville game with them getting out and people just too high off their beer. So, I mean, the charges don't fit the crime, but right now, looking at this legally, that's all we have on the books.
Yeah, I don't really care all that much. Like, I think she shouldn't. Like, this is so stupid. She should, of course, shouldn't. But I give her some props for creativity. I mean, what does a florist need to go to Mexico for unless she's going to pick some berries and bring them back up to the United States and sell them in her shop? So, props for the creativity to work this vacation in. And I mean, if I had one coming up and I got arrested, you better believe I'd try and go still. So
she's gaming the system.
She is, but so are the smoker. I mean, like everything. Like, look, here's the lesson of this last 5 minutes. Life ain't fair, right? Okay, and if you can game the system, if you can stick it to the man, stick it to the man.
That's your response to a Capitol insurrection.
That is not my response to a Capitol insurrection. No, that is my response to a lady trying to go to Mexico, okay? That's all I'm saying. I only have so much RAM in my brain to focus on these things, and I ain't going to focus on this one. All right. Coming up on the Jam, a rare pink diamond finds quite an interesting new home, and the biggest Golden Globes nominee snubs all have one thing in common. We're going to break it down for you at 6:30. We'll be back.
Well, this Black History Month, our focus is on what's next. How do we move forward following the wave of Black Lives Matter protests from last summer? Well, putting money into Black-owned businesses is as easy as it gets. Joining me now is Stephanie Hart, owner of Brown Sugar Bakery. Stephanie, thanks so much for being here. Why is making a conscious effort to support Black businesses necessary in the healing and rebuilding process after everything we've been through last year?
Yeah, last year was a super tough year, and I think it's super important to support local businesses, African-American businesses and communities, because we employ folks from the community and they need to keep their jobs. We need to keep our businesses because it is how we thrive and move forward. So it's really important.
Economic stimulation can have a huge impact. So during the pandemic, you purchased Cupid's Candies on Southwestern, a huge staple on the South Side. How did you get that done?
Just a little bit of craziness and a lot of support from the state. Yeah, it's a little craziness. And I bought the factory, so I am now making candies. I didn't buy the stores. I have the factory and we're making chocolates and actually launching this weekend. I'm excited about it. But I got involved and I went after it because of a grant that the state of Illinois was offering to minorities. And I just really took a chance. That was a needle in a haystack, and I was blessed to get it. And in getting that grant, I was able to save about 12 people's jobs in order for them to keep working. And Cupid is located, the factory is on 76th and Western. It's in another community that is African American and where we're starved for employment. So it was a great opportunity for Brown Sugar Bakery to expand into another confection and also to do what I love doing, which is create jobs and opportunity in my community.
That's amazing. And then how have you shifted during the pandemic, or how has the pandemic affected your business? You are famous for your caramel cakes.
Let me tell you something. The pandemic was an amazing awakening in so many ways. I think for a lot of minority businesses, first of all, we got hit with a huge financial obligation, and having to get prepared to go after loans and grants meant that we really had to get our acts together. I learned that having a relationship with the bank that I put money into is completely key, which I didn't at that time. I do now. Also, needing to be involved in technology at another level in order to greet our customers and meet our customers' needs in new ways. So although we always had a website, it wasn't a monetized website. You couldn't order from me through the website. You had to come visit, experience Brown Sugar in person. And the pandemic cut all of that out. So moving to platforms where, there was delivery wasn't really an option at first because of the cost that was involved. So, we actually developed a platform, a website that people could order direct from us, and that saved our business. It really did.
The epitome of Black excellence. Well, you have been in the community for some time now. We plan on continuing to support you. We hope that Navy Pier opens up really, really soon. Have you heard anything about that?
I am so hopeful. We are hearing that. And if things keep on track and everybody wears a mask and socially distance, we can open up by Labor Day, which will be awesome. Memorial Day, not Labor Day, Memorial Day.
Okay, good, because one sooner than the other.
Yes, exactly.
Stephanie, thank you so much. I've had your cakes personally, absolutely delicious. Your talent is there, but your hard work is unmatched. Thank you so much. You guys head to cupidscandies.com and brownsugarbakerychicago.com if you want to make an order, support this Black business, get some sweets too, because why not? Absolutely amazing. And then, of course, our celebration of Black History Month continues. We are not done yet. We're going to continue talking about the impact that the culture has on the community. And all of this is brought to you by Beam Legal in Foreman Mills. John?
All right, this is a forecast you're going to want to watch with your 3-day blinds closed because it is not good. We've got more snow coming tomorrow. Northern suburbs going to get a lot more of the full future cast in a bit. And then look at these highs and low temperatures. And this continues beyond the screen. So stay inside, stay warm. More after this. And of course, brought to you by 3 Day Blinds. You'll love the treatment. All right, welcome back, everyone. As we get closer to the big game, Cointreau is focusing on small businesses. So earlier, Amy had a chance to chat with the director of Collectif 1806, Emily Arsenio, about their partnership with the Independent Restaurant Coalition.
It's been a difficult year. Since March, 1 in 6 businesses, bars and restaurants have had to close due to the pandemic. And those that have survived are facing 85% risk. 85% are facing the risk of a permanent closure still. So it's really serious. We need your support.
What are you guys actually doing to help the local businesses? Are you getting people to order from them? How does it work?
Yeah, so look, takeout's a great option. Buying merch is a great option. If you can Venmo to your favorite bar staff tip account, that's great. But what Cointreau in particular is doing is that we are partnering with the Independent Restaurant Coalition, and we're working on our first ever big game campaign. It's called Love Letter, and it's encouraging people to go to social media and write love letters to show their gratitude to their favorite bars and restaurants.
Oh, I love that. Everybody needs a little boost right now. That's fantastic.
Right.
And,
Definitely.
let's face it, there's going to be a little bit of Cointreau drink for the big game. I know it is a staple in our liquor cabinet. Do you have any good drink suggestions other than our traditional margs?
So actually, I would keep it simple with the original margarita. It's 3 ingredients. You can't mess it up as long as you go with gusto for it. So take your shaker tin. You have to have Cointreau at the heart of it. It's 1 ounce of the original iconic French liqueur. That's what gives it that zesty, bright, citrusy flavor that we love from margaritas. You're gonna do 1 ounce of fresh lime juice. I'm gonna squeeze it right in there. I do fresh, I don't do bottled from the grocery store. It really does make a huge difference. And about 1 lime is 1 ounce, so that should do ya.
Okay.
2 ounces of silver tequila, Blanco tequila of your choice. So again, that recipe is 1, 1, 2. Very easy to remember, only 3 ingredients. My house, my rules. I'm using my hands to put the ice in the shaker. I know that's a little bit uncouth, but pandemic bartending, what can I say? So you fill your shaker all the way to the top. Seal it, shake. This is the most fun part. There's no wrong way to do it. Go crazy. Once that shaker starts to, your fingers almost stick to it because it's so cold.
Yeah.
You get a perfect shake, and you can strain directly in your glass that already has ice in it. It was chilling, waiting for me. Voila, I'm garnishing with a fresh cut lime. But at the end of the day, if you're using premium ingredients, fresh juice, you can't mess up your original margarita. It's going to be great on game day for sure.
For sure. And for folks out there too, I should mention, if you're lazy like me and you do want to support local restaurants, at least in Chicago, if you've got the Cointreau and the tequila in your house, some of these restaurants in Chicago will send you a mix from their house mixture too, so you can just add your own booze.
Awesome. Yeah, if you can support with some takeout, that would be amazing for sure.
Fantastic. Where can people go for some more information?
You can go to Cointreau.com/save restaurants to learn more, get some great recipes, and write your own love letter.
I love it. Thanks so much, Emily.
All right, we've been telling you about Chicago Food to Go's, a very special thing that we're doing. We all love picking favorites, right? And restaurants are no different. Well, guess what? You can participate with our Top Choice Awards. Yes,
Woo-woo.
7 categories we've been featuring. And tonight we're going to reveal the nominees for the best coffee shop and bakery. I mean, there's a bazillion choices, and we've gotten it down to 3, everyone. First off, we got Sweet Mandy Bees. They got a couple locations in Lincoln Park. They're our first nominee. They're in Streeterville as well. They got cupcakes and other delicious treats. They got the Botanical Cafe, which is really cool because you can not only buy a nice treat, you can buy a plant, which is pretty cool as well, fully stocked. And Emache is, which actually means tipsy in French, which I love. The owner lived in New York City. She started the business with that in mind. They're alcohol-infused cupcakes. So I don't know what to choose, guys, because every bakery and coffee shop is the top of my list. But I like bringing home a plant. I think that sounds cool.
Sounds good to me.
All right, we're all on that one. You can vote there. CW26.
You have me at alcohol.
We'll be back. All right, welcome back to the Jam, everybody. Myself on the left, Felicia in the middle, Brandon on the right. Where's Amy? Well, she had some daycare, night care issues finding people to take care of her kids. So she's got to do it on her own. Oh, and she's carrying one of the children. What's happening, Amy?
Perfect.
He's upset because he saw our next guest, Leila, on the screen as we were testing her audio, and he wanted to see her right now.
Oh, well, in just a little bit. When is bedtime for these suckers? When do they go to sleep?
Yeah, not more than 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
Well, Amy, you are a Woman Crush Wednesday because we are shouting out all the parents who are working from home and they have to work from home. The moms and the dads that are doing two jobs at home. Yeah. Oh yeah, you do look really cute.
It too. Okay.
Effortless.
Good luck.
Yeah, show us that bun. Show us that updo.
She's got to go punish someone. Go ahead, Brandon.
The working mom duo. Yes, indeed. We'll check back in with Amy throughout the show. But let's talk about the Golden Globes. The nominations were announced this morning with Mank, The Crown, Schitt's Creek, and Ozark nabbing several nominations each. For the first time, more than one woman was nominated for Best Director. Regina King, Chloe Zhao, and Emerald Fennell are up for the award. The Golden Globes have only previously nominated 5 women total in its 77-year history, but there were many obvious snubs, most of them being films and shows with diverse casts like I May Destroy You, Lovecraft Country, The Five Bloods, and Bridgerton. Also snubbed were Pedro Pascal for The Mandalorian and Uzo Aduba for Miss America. This has kind of like become par for the course for these award shows. They're going to snub a lot of deserving things. It's just so upsetting when a lot of them are black films. The Five Bloods, Lovecraft Country, Judas and the Black Messiah, which hasn't come out yet for wide release, but I got a chance to check that out. There's no reason why they should not be nominated because they were some of the best projects of the year by far.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are moving closer and closer to, do we really care about award shows? People do not watch them like they used to. You know, they used to be a thing on Sunday evenings. You gather with the family around the television and you all watch and you talk about it at work on Monday. That's not happening. So I think you got that. And then people also need someone to point the finger at. And it's easy to point the finger at the Academy or the panel or the association, whoever makes all these nominations and decides. It's easy to point the finger at them. But I think it goes way beyond them in terms of the opportunity that we provide for other minorities and people of color, women, to be involved in the arts.
So this is going to be a real bad take coming from the only white guy in a conversation here, but I honestly want to, I'm kind of curious about this. And look, honestly, like there was a period where there were so many obvious snubs happening and you had nobody represented in categories. They were all whitewashed and it wasn't all that long ago. I feel like we have made some progress, as you said, Felicia. So what is it? Do we need like a certain number? Like, I don't know what the answer is, right? Because these are such subjective things, and the people that watch them are a diverse group of people. So like if black people represent what, 17 to 18% of the country, they represent hopefully soon 18 to 20% of the actors, the producers, everything that the people voting on this sort of stuff. Will that make a difference? Like, I guess, is it inappropriate to say like, what is the number? Is there a magical number? I don't know how to answer this one because it's so hard to define where the line is.
It's tough to attach a quota to it. It really is, but it almost feels like you have to at some point because some of these are egregious. The Five Bloods on Netflix from Spike Lee, many feel like this was Spike Lee's best film, and that's saying a lot for Spike Lee, who's been doing this for a long time. So, and Delroy Lindo, who acted in it, no Best Actor nomination. It's shocking, and it seems glaring that some of these are not. With all the popularity that is around them and all the people that tuned in for them. So I don't know if it's just a matter of the Academy or whoever's judging this getting younger or needs to get younger or needs to get more diverse, or if we need to have a quota system, but it's just not right. And it's disappointing for these writers, these creators, and especially the fans too.
And then that's the thing. I'm always asking, like, who did the nomination? Like, who's on the Academy? Who chooses? Like, I want to see bios and I want to see pictures. I want to see their resumes and what they're doing. And I hope that it does look diverse. It should look like our country and beyond. I mean, but and I get what your point, John. You know, you're not just trying to give awards because the color of someone's skin. You're not just trying to give awards out like that. You know, you definitely don't want that to happen. Otherwise, what's the point? But
of course,
I
I
mean,
just don't know at what point we reach where we don't complain. But I appreciate Brandon's perspective because he's way more connected into the film world, the TV world. So those are maybe some snubs that I wasn't as aware were so snubby. Okay, that's a weird way to say that. Good combo.
Snubby.
Snub-like.
Love it. Snub-like. Snubbish.
Is it my turn to speak? Okay,
It's
let's
your
do it.
turn, yes.
It's International Girls and Women in Sports Day. Oh, this is why you guys were quiet. Okay, and Chicago sports reporter Leila Rahimi is making history.
Leila is awesome. She became the first full-time weekday host, female host on 670 The Score in its 29-year history. She joins us now. Leila, I know there's nothing more magical than radio, interacting with people on sports radio. And look, you've been on TV and radio, you've done it all. But this first month, have you connected with listeners? I imagine it's been a real thrill to take this on.
Yeah, it really has been, John. And it's so nice to see you guys again, Felicia and Brandon too. And Amy, I love seeing every one of you. It's really making me happy today. It really is about the personal interaction, and you know that, John. But the thing that's most interesting about radio too is the sports radio segment of the population is predominantly a male audience, but I've heard from a lot of women saying they've tuned into the show more because they feel like they're represented a little bit better. And you don't necessarily think that talking about the same subject matter, that would be the case. But when you make jokes or you have a laugh here and there, I feel like it's nice to have somebody different to resonate with you and just to add to the conversation. And that's really what I'm trying to do.
Well, and Leila, you're a great voice for this too, and you really are inspiring lots of people every day through what you're doing. And I'm happy to call you a friend. I want to get your thoughts on this. As far as women in sports, has there been progress? Has there been enough progress? And how much farther do we need to go?
Well, as you know, media has been hit so hard because of the pandemic. Unfortunately, ad revenue is based off of the discretionary income of other businesses. And a lot of women, especially in Chicago, have taken a hit as far as not being in the space anymore, either via layoff or contracts not being renewed, something like that. And it really is a disappointment to see. We want to see those numbers get higher. And it's not because we want somebody else to not have a job. It's just the same idea of representation. It's just been a hard year for women's employment, whether it's in the sports media industry or other industries. So even though this has been a discouraging year, I think hopefully 2021 will prove that the pendulum will swing a little bit more in the favor of women and diverse employment again.
Yes, certainly. So yesterday, we actually talked about Candace Parker and her welcome home, how welcomed it is, but at the same time, how much it was lacking. It didn't get the media coverage that we thought it should have. Us being media professionals, it should have been celebrated just like it would be if Dwayne Wade or Derrick Rose was coming home. Who do you think is responsible for that? Do you think it's the fans? Do you think it is the team and management? I mean, who do you think is responsible for making it a big deal?
Well, and I loved the interview that you guys do with Candace Parker. I found it really informative. We actually talked about your interview with her and the interview she did on our show this morning. And I think it just perhaps takes a little bit of that interaction. People don't always want to talk about the Bears. They do want to talk a lot about the Bears. But Candace Parker isn't just a woman who plays basketball. She is a Chicago basketball icon. This is a huge free agent signing for this city and its sports landscape. And it is hard to get Chicago basketball products to come home. We have very few of those who have actually played here in Chicago. You mentioned Derrick Rose. Anthony Davis is playing for the Lakers, and he talked about how Chicago is a basketball mecca. So I said on our show earlier today, if you love basketball, you want to see Candace Parker play with the Chicago Sky. And I, for one, am excited. Let's appreciate this. Let's celebrate this. And let's give her her due for being part of this amazing basketball landscape we have here in town.
All right. Before I let you go, I got one word question for you, so you don't have to explain it. Which Chicago team wins the next championship?
White Sox.
Yes.
Probably.
Love it.
That's right. Leila, you do incredible work. We always appreciate you stopping by. Congratulations on everything. And I love the sports banner behind you because sports says it all.
I keep it generic. It's so great to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Let's get the information up on the
Politically safe
screen.
banner.
Yes, you can listen to it with Dan Bernstein every day, weekdays, 9 to noon on 670 The Score.
All I really need is a little bit. Not a lot, baby girl, just a little bit.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Time for a little update. All right.
Yeah.
So So staying iced out is nothing new in the rap game, right? But what Lil Uzi Vert just pulled might be a bit too far. Check it out here. The rapper spent $24 million on an 11-karat pink diamond and had it implanted on his forehead. Yeah, that's right. This is inside. It's not glued. It is in there. Okay? The internet had some fun with it, as you could expect. Me and the squad on the way to the Lil Uzi meet and greet. Got a little light beam coming out. People thinking about the character Vision from Avengers, who's got the stone on his head. When I see Lil Uzi Vert without a security, if you know anything about Infinity War, that's pretty funny. He rips it right out of his skull.
Yeah, okay. It is a little funny, but I also find it a little disappointing. We know diamonds don't always keep the value of what you purchased it for. $24 million. I know everybody doesn't think like this, but I do think too much is given, much is expected. That $24 million could have gone a lot other places, so many other places.
Only Felicia would be complaining about the devaluation of a diamond in a man's forehead. I mean, are you kidding me? All right, that's my only thought.
I say I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Pretty awesome.
Oh, of course. Okay. Well, it's been 40 years since Rick Springfield dropped the hit song Jessie's Girl, and he isn't slowing down. After the break, we catch up with the rock star and learn why John is asking him to slow it down. Well, he's a rock icon, an actor, and best-selling author. Now, Rick Springfield is releasing the sequel to his acclaimed book, Magnificent Vibration.
World on Fire picks up where the exciting story left off. Rick Springfield joins us now. And Rick, it's been a 7-year cliffhanger, so I'm excited to get the resolution here.
Yeah, It's been an interesting journey writing this book. The first one, Magnificent Vibration, the first part, I wrote in about 6 months, and this one took about 6 years. It's just it's very complex, and it's pulling all the pieces together, and it was a journey. It's like writing anything. It kind of, once you start writing it, then the characters start to have their own lives and go the way they want to go. So it was really a lot of fun writing it.
Rick, obviously you're a rock star. You're a best-selling author. Can you leave some of the talents, like for some of us, like to do some other things too, please? Because I'm just trying to get one thing down, and even that's tough.
I know. I have self-worth issues, so I've just got to keep doing stuff.
I know that.
To make myself feel better.
So other than finishing the book, what have you done in this last crazy year?
I've done 2 albums that'll be coming out anonymously. I've joined Sammy Hagar with Beach Bar Rum. It's a rum company that we both have. So we've been, and that money went to Feeding America. So we've been, I've been, as productive as I can be.
I always approach this question with trepidation because I know it offends people sometimes to ask, but you've had a career that's lasted a couple decades, of course, doing a lot of great things. When you were younger and, setting off on your journey, I mean, are you like ticking off items, or do you kind of go which way the wind blows and just try new things as they come to you?
Writing is really at the core of everything I do. I love to write prose and songs, and things grow out of that. Really, I'm like I said, I really am a bit of a workaholic, alcoholic too, but workaholic mainly, and so I have to keep doing things. And this lockdown could have driven me out of my mind if I didn't do something with it.
You got Valentine's Day coming up, and you're celebrating the 40th anniversary of the album Working Class Dog.
Yeah, it's 40 years since I wrote the album, Jessie's Girl, and we have a film that's coming out on Valentine's Day called Orchestrating My Life that is me with the Santa Monica High Orchestra. It's like 100 kids on stage. I do a concert with them.
I can't let you go without at least just saying that I have been drinking with Amy at karaoke bars when she's gotten up and sung Jesse's Girl, and I wish you hadn't have written that song just for that. Because
Hey, it's not
good to watch her do it.
It can be funny.
You know what? You know what I like to say is if you think I sound bad, you're not drinking enough.
I mean, as a songwriter, you always hope to write a song that lasts. The Beatles wrote, 300, but
yeah.
Most of us are happy with 1 or 2, and that, I'm very proud of having written it. It was a very fruitful week of writing a song for sure back in '79. Sometimes it overshadows other stuff, but it's also is a lead-in for new things as well.
Yeah.
So it's like life. It's yin-yang, double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Let's get the information up for Rick Springfield on where you can find, obviously, the book World on Fire, and through Audible, and all the great things he's got going on.
RickSpringfield.com.
Really cool dude to talk to. Okay, here's your weather forecast brought to you by 3 Day Blinds. You'll love the treatment, even if you don't love this forecast. Okay, let's take a look at what's the timing of this storm. Yes, another winter storm making its way tomorrow. So morning clear, then some rain midday, turns to snow quickly, and falls until the evening, late evening hours through our show tomorrow. What are the totals? Oh, gosh. I think it's going to be worse to the northwest, where they're going to get 5.5, 6 inches near the Wisconsin state line up by Rockford. Maybe 2 to 3 downtown and in the suburbs. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, but either way, it is not fun at all. Poper.
All right, coming up, we're going to have an update on the Obama Center. Looks like it's actually going to be happening. We'll tell you more in News You Need to Know. And let's take a look over at how Amy is handling mommy duties.
Oh, Brandon, they're all excited about Yoda. Baby Yoda.
Yeah, gotta love him. All right, news you need to know. The Obama Presidential Center is finally making progress. The federal review is complete. Now groundbreaking is set for early fall in Jackson Park. There will be some preliminary sewer, water, and electrical work going down this summer. Canada has declared the Proud Boys a terrorist group. They join a list that includes Al-Qaeda and ISIS. The country's public safety minister called their violent extremism the most significant threat to domestic security. And Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick was honored today in D.C. He became the 5th civilian to lie in honor in the Capitol Rotunda. The 43-year-old died after being struck by a fire extinguisher during the January 6th insurrection. Felicia, over to you.
Thanks a lot, B. So the pandemic has put a strain on thousands of families, and they need your help. CW26, The U, Me TV FM, and Beam Legal are partnering with the Greater Chicago Food Depository to raise $15,000 worth of meals for those in need all across Cook County. It's super easy for you to help. Just text CW26 to 41444. Or go to cw26chicago.com and make a donation to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Again, super easy. Right now, we're at $11,549. People are donating. We need more help, okay? Donate today and help us get to $15,000. Stay right there. We'll be right back after the break.
Oh, just another trending now segment, right? No, it's hot takes. Oh, that was the end of the animation. Sorry, Brian. I just cut it off. Oh, that was going to be dramatic. Chrissy Teigen is getting under some heat for this tweet she had. She responded to her own, but she said, "What's the most expensive thing you've eaten out that you thought was bad?" And she said, "Well, one time, John, let me just answer my own question. We were at a restaurant and the waiter recommended a nice cabaret. We got the bill, it was 13 grand. How do you casually recommend a 13 grand bottle of wine? We didn't even finish it, had to be cleared." She's getting a lot of flack for it. Out of touch, or is that cool to share? Brandon, hot take.
I got no issue with the tweet. I mean, people said she was not being relatable. She wasn't trying to be. I think it actually is relatable because you never let a waiter suggest wine to you because it's always going to be the most expensive. Just the rules.
Felicia, hot take.
Yeah, you can't take anything Chrissy Teigen says too seriously. People always love to troll her. They need to go sit down.
Yeah, Felicia gets the hot take point. All right, a federal judge has ruled that the QAnon shaman, the guy with the Viking hat who stormed the Capitol, must be served his, not vegan food, his organic food, in federal prison. Is he a snowflake or is that fair, Felicia?
Yes, both can be true at the same darn time. Almost slipped up there. Both can be true. You wouldn't, if he was vegan, you wouldn't feed him meat. You know, that wouldn't be fair. And yes, he is a snowflake. You should think about this before you decide to break the law. Think about your dietary needs.
Brandon, hot takes.
See, this is how you know he ain't black, because I can't imagine telling my mom with a straight face, oh no, Mom, I can't eat this sandwich. It's not organic. Like, he's never been told no in his life to that. I can tell. It's ridiculous.
Brandon gets the hot take. Brandon gets the hot take. All right, hey, let's get physical. Just your standard workout video? Nope, that's Myanmar. And that's a coup d'etat happening behind this woman live while she's doing her workout. Yes, near the parliament, there goes the military. So, soon enough, if she works those arms long enough, she'll see a real gun show behind her. Brandon, hot take.
I think chaos creates the best workouts. I went for a run when the looting was happening back in the summer. It was exhilarating. I felt an extra rush, a pep in my step. And so I endorse it.
Felicia,
Hey.
that's tough to beat.
At least she's got a mask on, right?
Brandon wins. Brandon wins. Chaos in the workout. How about chaos at Amy's home? How's it going as we wrap things up?
They're gone.
Are they tired out?
Henry says they're gone. See you tomorrow.